So he had made 30,000 in total streaming revenue in 3 years.
Okay.
So he's doing about $10,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And he made $100,000 in the first 30 days on the platform. And now we've done 14 albums with him since.
Wow.
So yeah, but that's how we started working with him.
One of those guys is LaRussell. Like,
yeah,
he's built an incredible business, an incredible marketing machine. Talk to me a little bit more about how that relationship got started and how it benefited him.
Well, LaRussell, I always say, LaRussell's probably one of the smartest people I've ever met. And
facts.
I also think like sometimes just being smart isn't enough, right? Mm-hmm. I think in any industry, like he's smart and does the work.
Yeah, it could be a detriment when you're really smart.
Yeah, sometimes you're so smart that like you just like,
too smart for your own good.
Too smart for your own good.
Yeah.
Like LaRussell is smart and he does the work.
Yeah.
Everything he's told me he wants to do, he does. Like sometimes he'll hit me about stuff and I'm just like, man, I can't take that on right now. And he still does it anyway. Like he still finds a way to get it done. And the relationship that I have with him has been that way since I first met him. So I met LaRussell in September of 2022. I met him through one of our advisors and now like close mentor. His name is J.R. McKee. I don't know if you know J.R.
Yeah. From Atlanta, right?
Yeah, from Atlanta, yeah. So separate story on J.R. separately, but J.R. was the only industry executive that I called when I wanted to build Even, who told me to build it. Dope. Everyone else told me not to build it, but for my own good. They're like, Mag, you don't want the headache.
Right.
Like, and JR was the only person. And I think I had caught him at a time where like he had already been really successful.
Yeah.
And he was kind of just like, I'm kind of on my way out.
Yeah.
Like, let's go ruffle some feathers. And, I talk to JR on a weekly basis and, he's always been able to forecast the industry, in advance. But he introduced me to LaRussell. When we built the product, he was the person that was helping me find who the first artist was going to be on the platform. So we did
JR.
Yeah. Yes. So we did hundreds of calls together. I did thousands of calls across the board. And, the product was ready to be tested in June of 22, just to give you perspective. Our first release didn't go out till October 1st. So we spent months just trying to find the right partner. And some days were like better than others, but I met LaRussell in September. I did a call with him. JR introduced us. And the first thing LaRussell told me on the call was, Mag, why should we use Even when I'm already doing everything you're trying to do with your platform? And I was just like, my initial response is like, you're 100% right. You're already doing it. But the thing is, you can be doing 100 other things. And like, let us take this on and let us be the infrastructure that allows you to be able to do this more seamlessly. And you can just focus on doing what you do best, which is all the other amazing ideas that you want to do. And he was like, all right, put a demo together. We put a demo, we sent it, he approved it. And then the day we were going to go live, I sent him the link and he's like, Mag, I don't know. At the time, Even was like, it was a prototype. So it was nowhere near what it is now. He's like, Mag, this just feels a little complicated. The way you log in, the way you got to do this, the way you got to do that. He's like,
As a customer,
he was just like, I don't think my fans are going to like this experience. And he's like, I don't think I'm going to do it. And I was like, we get off the phone and I was like, damn, so close.
I want to take a quick break in the pod right now and talk to you guys about something I think could be of importance to you. If you're listening to this pod and thinking, I could really use some personal guidance right now, and you're serious about building your career in the music business, I'm now offering one-on-one private strategy sessions. These are fully personalized, just you and me tackling whatever you need in your music career. Listen, this is the part where you might be thinking to yourself, who the heck is this guy? Well, I got over 17 years of experience in the music business, whether it was working as a manager with artists like Jessie Reyes, or working with major record labels like Island, Republic, Universal Music Group, or Sony, or producing content for high-profile artists like The Weeknd and Eminem, to producing content for elite brands like the NBA and Nike. I can definitely and confidently say I can help you map out your next moves. Whether you want to talk about structuring your team, navigating the industry, scaling your brand, or just simply learning how to make money in this music business, whatever's most relevant to where you're at, let's talk. You can now book for a fee a one-on-one session with me, an artist manager, and a podcast host, to help you figure out your next steps. Find the link in the description below to book a one-on-one consultation session. Also, big shout out to those who watch this podcast. Bringing value to an audience who seeks it is a blessing. I can't thank you enough for tuning in. I appreciate you. Now let's get back to the pod.
And it wasn't our first time someone said no, but it was the first time they said no when we were that close.
Mm.
So I call him back and I was like, LaRussell, I'm like, give me 24 hours. Let me show you what I can do first. Like, let me go and get you some sales, get you some real feedback. And he's like, Mag, if you can sell 200 copies in 24 hours, I will post this on my social media.
He came up with that number?
He came up with that number.
What made you say, give me 24 hours? What made you think about that?
I think for me, it was just like, I'm in so deep that like, what's the worst that can happen, you know? And
say no, that's the worst.
Yeah, and like, you know, like, I've been a hustler my whole life. So for me, it's like, if your concern is, will people even be able to buy, then let me actually just go sell the product and let's see like what people feel, like how they feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
I call everybody on my phone. Everybody, like people I haven't talked to, just like, yo, can you buy this? Like, I'll cash out you the money after you buy it. I just need your feedback. And in 24 hours, I think we sold 164, 160 to 170. I can't remember the exact number. And I call him and I was disappointed. I was like, look, man, I tried. We sold like 170 or something. It's cool. Like, I get it. Like, we got some good feedback. He was like, hold on. You got more than 100 people to buy my album and they don't know who I was? I was like, yeah. He's like, I'm posting this right now. He goes live on Instagram, posts it.
Right.
And he makes $27,000.
Oh, shit.
In a matter of hours.
Okay.
You know, at this time, LaRussell wasn't as big as he is now.
Yeah.
And then a week later,
and he communicates that on his live that he just made that amount of money. And
yeah. I mean, I remember like the money was coming in and we pay daily. So this is also the first time that he had ever been paid daily before.
Very rare.
And, you know, he was seeing the money straight into his account.
Yeah. And just for content, there wasn't 170 people that you knew on your phone, but you were trying to get the numbers up, or was it that? And you
it was 170 unique people bought the album.
But not from your phone book.
Yeah, from my phone book.
Oh.
I was calling everybody I knew.
Okay.
I think literally it was everyone that I knew that I just like.
Crazy. But there's also a pay what you want.
Yeah, it was pay what you want. So it's $1 minimum. And I think in revenue, I think I only made him like, I don't know. It wasn't even anything crazy. I think out of the sales, I made him maybe like $1,000 or something.
Oh, so sorry, what's the 27,000 then?
No, that's when he posted it.
Oh wow.
So this was just me. This was just me
Crazy.
Like trying to prove that like people will be able to buy this.
Did he know you did that?
Yeah. So that's when I called him. I was like, so he told me like, yo, sell 200 on your own and then I'll post it. And I called everyone to get the sales to show him that people would be able to buy and listen.
Got you.
And now actually 2 things happened during that time. So when he first said no, go sell this yourself. And then, well, he didn't say that. I told him, I was like, yo, if I get 200 people to buy it, will you post it? We like found a bunch of little like bugs on the platform.
Okay.
That like helped us solve a lot of those issues that by the time he was convinced to do it himself, the platform was in a way better stage. But yeah, he made 27. Nice. So when he posted it 24 hours later, he did 27,000 the first day. And then it was like almost 70 grand the first week.
Wow.
And then it ended up being like 100 grand in the first month on the platform. And this is more money than he had ever made selling an album direct to fan before. And that kind of became the big story, right?
And streaming too, right?
Like, yeah. So he had made 30,000 in total streaming revenue in 3 years.
Okay.
So he's doing about $10,000 a year. Mm-hmm. And he made 100 grand in the first 30 days on the platform. And now we've done 14 albums with him since.
Wow.
So yeah, but that's how we started working with him. But he was the first artist on the platform. Since then we've gotten really close and like we've been able to, you know, he sees the product, features and new stuff. He's pitching new ideas all the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, for an artist at that level who's like now having like real growth across social has been really big for him, but now streaming is really picking up for him as well. he's the perfect example of an artist that didn't choose one or the other.
Mm-hmm,
You know, he was like, I'm going to go direct to fan and then I'm going to go to streaming. And for me, it's I'm going to use the revenue from my direct to fan release to help fuel my catalog. And,
Yes.
you know, and it's just kind of a cycle that repeats itself.
LaRussell is a great example of somebody who is really savvy when it comes to marketing. I think he uses social media, in my opinion, the right way. He doesn't think about it in terms of it's too much. He just thinks about it as like, obviously you want to have quality content, but you're constantly learning from what you're posting. And then you go put some ad spend behind some things that are working, right? But so he's, I think, like an outlier in this.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about some case studies that don't necessarily have the marketing savviness that he has, but is somebody that is just kind of beginning in their journey and trying to figure it out?
I mean, there's so many. I think it's like every day we see a new story of a new artist on the platform. And my favorite stories are always like the artists who have never made money from music before.
Yeah.
They come to Even and they make their first 100 and their first 1,000 and, you know, and we see those every day now, right? Like every day there is a good amount of artists who've made their first dollar from music because of Even. And, you know, I think, I'm trying to think of like one just like in the last day that the team, because every morning the team will post like a little like, you know, little previews of different artists. There's actually an artist, his name's Dulamite is his name. It's like DU hyphen Lamite.
Okay.
He's an artist out of Vegas. He's been making music for, I don't know, 10 plus years. And he released on the platform last year. He just released another body of work. And what's really cool about his story was he's like, Mag, I've been making music for a long time and I've never really made any money from streaming. But he came to Even, he made a couple $1,000s in like the first couple of days. And I remember at the time I was running a little newsletter that is kind of like, I need to pick it back up, but I interviewed him. And it was an internal newsletter, like within the company that I would like share stories. And his story was really unique because during this interview, he was like, Mag, I almost gave up making music. And this was like my last attempt at like releasing something. And I told myself that I'm going to use the money from this album to launch my my company. He had a lemonade company that he wanted to launch. And he ended up making the money. And then he actually just launched his lemonade company with his most recent album that he just launched. But he also dropped it on the platform. But I think for me, those are the stories that I think mean something. When I think about the stuff that drives me as a person is like, yes, I want to work with the big superstars and the big artists. Like that's always fun, but nothing beats commerce enablement. And for that, for me, and for folks that don't know like what commerce enablement is like helping everyday people start their own business. And, you know, especially the entry, like just starting a business is really difficult, especially for Black and brown people. And especially when we think about people in LATAM, Africa, and just like the global South. Like starting your own business requires money, resources, and even makes it easy for these creators to run their business. And in many cases, those businesses can just be a seed that can plant towards another business and another idea. And I think for me, that's the stuff that motivates me. And those are the case studies that I really hold tight and I follow those artists and see, you know, what's the next thing that they build. And we've seen people start, again, with an album, then they launch a t-shirt company or they're launching a new business.
I mean, that's important to note because like in reality, like, you know, you have an artist, right, that doesn't make any money on streaming. And then all of a sudden they use a platform like Even. Then they make $500. That's still not sustainable like for your career, but what it is proof of life, proof of concept is one. But then with that $500, they can then, and maybe not all artists know this, but they might be asking you the questions like, what do I do with this money? Because they got to reinvest it back into their business. And to be honest with you, like $500, it can go a long way if you organically know how to use social media, put some ad spend behind the content, bring you into Even, you know what I mean? Like there's things that happen like that. I think when you're making just a little bit of money, if I'm not mistaken, you would see it better than
100. I mean, man, look, I don't know if you remember the first $100 that you made in your entrepreneur journey, right? Whether it was
I 100% do.
And what that does to
I was 11 years old.
And what that does to you.
And you know what's crazy? Because your name is, I'll tell you what.
Please tell me. Well, how did you make your $100?
Well, because your nickname is Magic.
Yeah.
My first job ever was as a magician.
That's crazy.
I was at 11 years old. My mom, I used to love magic when I was a kid, and my mom saw an ad that there was somebody local in the neighborhood. Like, his name was Pedro Juan, magician from Cuba. He's like, yo, this guy's teaching lessons. You want to go? I'm like, hell yeah. And so I went with him. Great dude. Taught me about business.
Yeah.
And I was like, from people from Toronto, they'll know what I'm talking about. But like, all of a sudden, I started going to like the exhibition, seeing and I was like his helper doing magic tricks.
Wow.
And my guy was paying me $100.
That's
yeah, it was
but it made it real.